Righty guys, welcome back to another FreakNZ video. Today we're cracking into the modding guide on the M4A1. Now this is probably the lowest recoil one we've covered so far, boys. With all of the attachments added on, we get down to a value of only 32 vertical recoil, which is absolutely insane. So stick around for this, guys. We're going to run you guys through all of the different parts for the max recoil and all of the parts for the maximum ergonomics, and then we're going to take them side by side and compare them within the shooting range. Alrighty guys, so this is the Colt M4A1 in its sort of its best in slot form. Now you'll notice there's a few things on this that aren't really standard with guns. One, the two pop-up mounts on top. Secondly, you'll see I have a canted sight mount for the PKO6. Now this ADS is very slightly faster than just having the PKO6 dead center on top. So it's a very slight speed increase, but can be kind of handy. These two here give 1 ergonomics each. Seems pretty menial, but still, if you're making a max in slot, you may as well include it. And then also the HoloSun tactical device on the bottom. Now this is what we're going to use to get our red flashlight. Now the red flashlight is actually a way to increase your hipfire accuracy without showing any visible signs. I've done a video on this previously, guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about that. Link will be down in the description below. Right, so to get this to work perfectly, guys, and to get the maximum recoil reduction for the M4 in .12, what we're going to need is a combo of the CQD rail, the 14.5 inch version, the 406mm AR-15 barrel, the jailbreak, and then also the Bulletech ST6012, okay? These are going to give you the maximum recoil reduction for this entire sort of front section here. And then obviously on here, guys, we've just mounted the Magpul M-Lock 4.1 inch, and that's going to allow us to mount our foregrip on. Again, being the RK2, I've covered this in previous videos, it's the maximum recoil reduction foregrip that you can get. That all up, guys, gives us the absolutely laser beam-like 32 vertical recoil, okay? This thing is very dead on target when you're firing it, but it is quite an expensive weapon, guys. When we go to find parts for this, you can see we're roughly around about 275,000 rubles. That's without anything in it as well, okay? So this is a very expensive gun. One thing I've noticed here that I didn't actually cover is the JP Enterprise gas block system. A little bit more expensive than your standard gas block that you find, but this does actually give you a buff to ergonomics of 2. So if we're talking max in slot, guys, that's what you're going to be going for. Right, so now we have the max in slot ergonomic build for the M4. Now this one's kind of cool. I've never really built anything like this before, but it's a very cool looking gun. So what we arrived at is 112 ergonomics. If you guys can beat this, I would love to see it. Post it in my Discord. The link for that will be down in the description below as well. But this, I'm pretty sure, is the maximum ergo build. There might be plus minus maybe 5, like, you know, 1 to 5 somewhere in there. So what we've actually got on this here, guys, we'll begin to run you through it now. So we're using the PRS Gen 3 stock. Now this is the one that gives you a huge boost in ergonomics. So for that, we have to have the Colt A1 buffer tube on the back here. We're then also rocking the maximum ergonomics barrel here, which is the 260 barrel for the AR-15. We have a Raptor charging handle, again, for the ergonomics. The 10-inch CQD rail, the M-Bus front and rear sights. Then we have the Bulletech. Now, we could put the jailbreak on this, and if you're building this, I would probably recommend it because the recoil reduction that you get from it is definitely worth losing the 1 ergonomics point that it takes off. But yeah, then again, guys, up to personal preference. We then have a Fortis shift grip mounted to a 4.1-inch M-Lock on the front rail here, and that is going to arrive at 112 ergonomics, which is crazy out of the world. Now, the maximum ergo build comes down to 187, so a massive reduction from what I'm like of nearly 100k actually from the maximum recoil reduction build that we built before. Right, guys, so now we're going to show you guys the base version of the M4 versus the max in slot ergo versus the max in slot sort of recoil reduction build for the M4. And yes, it is a different day. I'm recording this right at the end of the sort of lockdown. I haven't actually put out a lot of videos since then, but yeah, recording this on a different date. That's why I look completely different. Anyway, back to the video. Also, just ignore that weird kind of artifacty thing that's happening with the M4. It's just a little bug inside of the firing range for the one on the far left. Alright guys, thanks for hanging around the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If this has helped out, I highly recommend saving your presets that you build within this. They've announced with the latest sort of dev update vlog podcast thing that they did, that they are going to be letting us keep all of our presets and all of our examined items. So, if you've made them this wipe, you're going to get to have them next wipe as well. So a really good idea to just go through a bunch of videos like this, find a bunch of max and slot weapons, and then just save them so you've got them sort of set there for any of you new players. Also guys, if you do want to check out any of the other ones, the SKS one, I've put up HK, SA58, and a bunch of other max and slot recoil ones. A few of them you'll just be able to figure out yourself, like the DTMDR is pretty much literally just slapping the RK2 on the front of it. But for all of the more complicated weapon types, I'm going to try and get a whole playlist together of all of those different videos so you guys can see all of the really complicated builds in one spot. So I'll link that down in the description, guys. I'll probably chuck it in the end card as well, so if you just scroll all the way through to the end once you're done, that should be there for you guys to pick up if you want to learn a little bit more about weapon modding within Escape from Tarkov. But aside from that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. My name is Freak. As always, if you want to catch me on live stream, I'll be over there. Aside from that, peace out. You guys know all the YouTube stuff. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and all that good shit. And yeah, see you guys around in the next one. Peace out.